Sometimes it seems like some people are not exactly happy when you're celebrating a win or something good that has happened to you. And perhaps that might be the case with Tacha. You want to know what that is about? Don't worry, you're going to know all about it. You're welcome to Unplug, brought to you by every NG. This is yet another exciting episode of the show, and it is always a pleasure to be here bringing you the news and all the updates. My name is Victor, and thank you once again for joining us. Big story for today, apart from Tacha, NIMC staff who are supposed to be helping people with their NIN, the linking and everything, have decided that for one reason they are going on strike. So what happens to all the moves that people are making to get things done? Is everything going to get stalled or what? Well, I'm going to talk about that in just a bit. First of all, we're going to take entertainment news, and there's so much to be said about Bibi Naija. We're starting with Tacha. Tacha yesterday was celebrating the fact that Nicki Minaj followed her on Instagram, and she went all out to brag and said, "Don't call me your mate," this or that. Maybe that did not really sit and rest well in the ears of some people, as an Instagram blog decided to, talk some sense into her, so to speak. And he said, "Look, you're not the first person who Nicki Minaj is going to follow, not even the first Nigerian." And they went as far as pointing out one Nigerian whom Nicki Minaj has followed in the past, and that is singer Scales. I said, when Scales was followed by Nicki Minaj, he did not make any noise about it, so why are you screaming down the whole house? And we haven't exactly heard anything from Tacha, but I'm sure the girl is still reveling in that win, and she doesn't want to be moved by what anybody has to say. Still, it's her win. She celebrates it anyhow she wants to. Okay, now let's move on from Tacha. Let's talk Lilo. Lilo usually is in the good books of the news, or in the good books of people, not really having issues here and there, not involved in drama. But apparently, like they say, one by one, everybody must collect. And it was Lilo's turn to collect yesterday because she got dragged by a designer, a graphics designer on Twitter, who came out to say that Lilo has been owing her. Now, how did it happen? Somebody just randomly said, "Wow, I loved Dorothy's clothes in her latest pictures," and I tried to find out how much they cost, and it's really expensive. Oh my God, when will this poverty leave me? And Lilo quoted that tweet and said, "Just order it, I'll pay for you." Now, the graphics designer guy in question also quoted Lilo's tweet and said, "Okay, so this is how you celebrities behave. You will just buy it for her when you have not paid somebody who did a legitimate job for you, and you're just owing the person without any remorse whatsoever. So this is how celebrities behave, public show of being nice and all of that." Well, his tweets gained traction, and Lilo and her team were called into the whole matter. Eventually, he got paid, but some people are saying this might be a dent on her image. It might be a stain. It might discourage people from working with her, or just make them to be more cautious about that. Well, whatever it is, the guy has been paid, and beyond that, he said because of the entire drama, because he called her out, he has gotten new jobs. He has gotten new recommendations and all of that. So thank you to the people of Twitter on his behalf for helping him get justice. And this is actually a word for celebrities, because Ramsey Noah also got called out for something very similar recently for the movie Living in Bondage. I think if you want to work with people, you have to set the terms straight. And also, it's a word for creatives out there. Ensure that everything is well set in stone before you venture into any form of creative work, so that nobody has any regrets at the end of the day. All right, you've had enough of that. Let's move on now. I'm talking Davido. Recently, of course, there were rumors that Davido is going to quit music. He himself said it on Twitter. He was like, I go leave this music for now. Well, he came out to say later on that he has decided that he's not going to quit, and he's still going on with music. But something else has just happened to kind of add a little more fuel to those rumors that he might be quitting music. Davido is now a member of the board of directors of his father's company, Pacific Holdings. And maybe he might not exactly want to quit music, but the fact that he's now an active, whether active or nominal, we are not sure yet, but the fact that he's now a member of his father's company might mean a change of career direction for him right now or in the near future. But whatever it is, our fingers are crossed and we'll see what happens. But anyways, congratulations to Davido. And moving on now, let's talk Emeka Okoye, who is a Nigerian actor, and good news for him, he just recently got married and he celebrated by posting a picture of he and his wife on Instagram. And the congratulations have been pouring in from left, right, and center. Congratulations. We've been expecting this for a while. God bless your home and all of that. Well, congratulations to Emeka Okoye and we wish you happy married life. Now to the big story. NIMC workers, Nigeria Identity Management Commission, have decided to embark on a strike. Why, you might be thinking? Conditions of service or whatnot? Well, something in that direction, but they have cited the fact that they are being exposed to the COVID-19 virus. Well, how exactly does this affect your duties is the question people are asking, because of course there are protocols, there are guidelines that help prevent the spread of the virus. So why do you people have to complain of exposure to the virus? Is it that you're not doing exactly what you're supposed to do to protect yourself, or what exactly is the problem? Is what people are asking, but that is what they're saying, and for one reason or the other, they demand certain things that have to be put in place for them. But the big question now is what happens to what is going on at the moment. Of course, everybody knows that you have to link your national identity number to your SIM cards and all of that to prevent your line from getting blocked. And there has been a madhouse movement. People are running helter-skelter to get it done. But now that you people are going on strike, what is going to happen? Are people not going to get these things done anymore? It's a big question and we're still waiting for answers. All right, but let's move away from that now. NIMC is talking about COVID-19. COVID-19, of course, is dominating headlines. Former Vice President of Nigeria and former presidential candidate for the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Akubaka, has just recently gotten vaccinated. Not in Nigeria, by the way. He traveled to Dubai to get himself vaccinated against COVID-19. There are so many perspectives that this topic opens up. I mean, what happens to Nigerians who are not so privileged to travel abroad? I mean, somebody was like, wahala for who if you go Dubai. And it's actually a very valid point to make, because it seems these people just think they can press our necks because you have what it takes to travel out of the country to get yourself vaccinated, so you just do it. What happens to the Nigerian next door? Or maybe not next door because you live in a very rich neighborhood, but what happens to the ordinary common Nigerian who cannot travel abroad to get vaccinated? We are still asking questions about how we're going to get the vaccine into Nigeria, how it's going to be distributed, how we're going to ensure that every single person who wants to be vaccinated or who needs to be vaccinated gets vaccinated. But apparently our necks are still being pressed because anybody can just travel abroad and get vaccinated. But what do you think? I would like to know what you think about this particular development. But have to move on from that now. And onto the US, where things are not going on so smoothly anyways, as usual. Somebody on Twitter said, America don't cast. Maybe a bit America has actually cast. That's not correct English, but yesterday in the US, there was an uprising, so to speak. The Congress was sitting to ratify the election of Joe Biden ahead of the January 20th inauguration ceremony. But pro-Trump supporters stormed the Capitol building and did not just disrupt proceedings, but they even broke into the building and scattered the congressmen. And everybody had to flee for their lives. Everybody had to discharge, as they will say it in Nigeria sometimes. Everybody had to run away. And it could not happen when it did. I don't want to go too much into the details about that, but it was serious. There was destruction. People even lost their lives. But earlier today, Congress still met to ratify this particular decision. So Joe Biden has been confirmed. And then Trump, more importantly, has finally conceded defeat. He has agreed that he lost the election, even though he still does not agree with the results of the elections, but he has said and guaranteed that there will be a peaceful transition on the 20th of January. So maybe we can all go to sleep now, because this is the end of the road for Donald Trump. He has finally accepted, and we can all move on with our lives. All right. Away from that now, let's talk about something else. On a happier note, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, American actor and singer and all of that, has been named the world's most likable person in a particular publication. You might have your arguments about that, but he's not very difficult to like, to be honest, and he's a very popular person. And he responded to this by, thanking the publication and giving a speech of how he was not exactly very likable when he was about 15 years old in high school. He was always getting into fights, but then he came across a quote that changed his life, and he said, and I quote, "Yes, it is nice to be important, but then it is more important to be nice." So that is probably food for thought for you for the day. Okay, so congratulations once again to Dwayne Johnson, who is the most likable person in the world, just ahead of me. Finally, let's wrap it up with sports, where yesterday was the second semi-final of the Carabao Cup in England. First of all, it was Tottenham and Brentford, and Tottenham were able to make it to the final. Yesterday it was Manchester City and Manchester United, and Manchester United lost at home to Man City by 2-0. There you have it, you have your final. Wembley has been booked already, and it is going to be between Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester City. So we'll see whether Jose Mourinho is going to be getting his first title with Tottenham, or it's going to be the Pep Guardiola monopoly of the EFL Cup once again. All right, that is all we've got for you on Unplug for today. Thank you so much for being a part of the show as always, and until next time, enjoy the rest of your day, and don't forget to join us on the next episode of the show. My name remains Victor, and this is Every NG.